What's going on today, guys? Today we are going to replace the throttle body on the Silverado. I believe that that's the actual issue that I've got going on. I'm getting a throttle body code. I'm still getting a cylinder 4 code, even though we've changed injectors, coil, wires are brand new, plugs are brand new. So worst case, I'll also pull that plug to see what's going on. We can try to borescope it, but we're going to start with this, and I think this is pretty much like the last component. It looks newer on there, but I have no idea how old it was because I never replaced it. So we're going to get this changed out, and hopefully that's going to resolve the idling issues that we're having. Well, I should say just the running issues with this in general. I do know it does. I also have a bad oxygen sensor as well, but that shouldn't be causing it. So outside of this, the only other thing I can think of potentially is if the catalytic converters are clogged, which is a much bigger job because we got to pull like the manifolds and whatnot. But we're going to try this first. I also have an accelerator pedal on the way as well, to see if that could potentially be it. But because I am getting a very specific throttle positioning code. So from what everything I've read, it is possible that it is also the accelerator pedal on these newer GMs. So we'll take a look. Apparently this was a factory GM one. I had assumed it was replaced, but it was actually not. So all right, let's go give that a shot. Okay, so now we're gonna give it a shot and fire it up. We'll need to do a throttle body relearn, which should just be running for 3 minutes, and then let it sit for 60 seconds, then let it run for another 3 minutes. So I am going to have the timer pulled up on my phone right here, and we'll give it a go. So we'll come back after 3 minutes, and we are at 3 minutes. So now we are going to shut it off. Okay, now we're going to wait 1 more minute and then repeat the process. So let's circle back after everything is done. Okay, so we've waited our requisite amount of time. We're still getting a cylinder 4 misfire, so everything's been changed. I honestly kind of want to throw a plug at it, because if you see here, I think from an acceleration standpoint, I think the throttle body was definitely bad. Looking at it from everything else, it definitely still has that misfire. I had drilled a small hole in the exhaust to verify that it wasn't a plugged cat, and now I'm leaning more away from a plugged cat and specifically an issue with cylinder 4. So we're gonna run probably to the store real quick and grab another spark plug and give that a go to see if that'll correct the issue. I pulled the plug. It was pretty black on the edge, which is atypical of running rich. So I know though that it's a brand new coil. I know that it's brand new wires, so we're going to try the plug first. That's going to be the route that we're going to go for now, and then we're going to kind of keep going down the line until we figure it out. So we'll be back. Okay, so we ran up to the store and grabbed another plug. Let's try it out. I think it's fixed. Yep. Okay, well that's fun. All right, so taking a look at this, that's crazy actually. All right, so it looks like there's something going on then around the base seal of that, and that was literally the whole problem. So I was thinking the throttle body and the spark plug were going to fix it, but upon some further digging, I had drilled a hole previously in the side of the exhaust pipe to see if one of the cats is plugged. The rear cat's fine. What I think it is though is I think it's the passenger side front catalytic converter, which actually comes right off the downpipe. So why I think that, we had a cylinder 4 misfire issue, Okay, we ended up changing out the plug. The plug looked like it had like some rust spots around the porcelain, which almost makes me think that it was too much pressure. But thinking that it was just a plug, we changed it out. It ran good, but it still really didn't have a lot of acceleration going down the road. I did still have the hole open, so I went ahead and put a bolt in the hole real quick that I drilled in underneath, and it still was very, very just very sluggish. So I got to thinking a little bit, as well as I did two other things. I had ran my code reader while we were driving down the road, and I actually got a cylinder 2 misfire. So I was a little bit suspect of that, but it was running much better. Okay. However, I cleared those out, took it around the block after I put the bolt hole in, ran the codes again. The cylinder 2 was gone, but it had a cylinder 6. All of those are all on the passenger side, in my opinion. Just because I wasn't entirely sure when I had at first inspected it. That just leads me to believe that it's the catalytic converter. Why I think that? If there is getting misfires only on one side there, we've changed virtually everything ignition wise. I believe that the plugged cat is causing too much back pressure on the exhaust springs in the motor itself. And basically it's just leaving, when they go to try to open, they're not able to fully open. So it's giving a very sluggish performance, not exactly causing a misfire, but I think from there, the cylinder pressure is actually building so much that the plugs are the weakest link in the chain. So at least that's my initial theory as of right now, with what's going on it. So I had kind of thought about this previously, and I think that that's going to be the most likely scenario that would be potentially causing this. So what we're going to do, I think I'm going to unbolt the exhaust manifold from the actual block itself, and then we'll probably make a cut underneath at the Y pipe, because what that's going to enable us to do going forward is we should be able to take a look at the cat, either bypass the cat for now until we get a different pipe, or it's going to give us at least enough room to kind of understand what the next step needs to be. So that's what I'm going to do now. So what I'm going to have to do, I'm going to have to probably pull the tire, as well as pull the inner fender flare to be able to gain access to it. Thankfully, it's a it's a GM43, so it should just be 6 bolts right there that should just come off. I think it's going to be in the way. Probably pull the spark plugs out as well. But we're going to get cooking on that because I really want to get this thing back into good running shape, and right now it's just not running so good. So let's get cooking. Okay, so finally a bit of validation. Okay, so this right here is my little barometer, or I'm sorry, video, video barometer. And as you can see in there, I know it's a little bit because I'm doing a video of a video right now. If you could see in there what looks like spider webs, that is because, oh, and there's not really a good way to do this, but that is right there. Yeah, you can see a bunch of crystalline. That is the cap plugging up. So as you can see, there's quite a bit, and it looks like actually that that's some of the material right there from what I can tell. And if I back it out a little bit more, it doesn't look horrible, but then you have to take into consideration that it wasn't fully plugged up, but it was basically entirely plugged up as far as what I could tell. So now I know what you're saying, but Zach, what does the other side look like, or what does a cat normally, what is it supposed to look like? So let's flip it around to the front side, which surprisingly enough is actually in pretty decent shape. So I'm just going to stick that in there once more, and then you can kind of see right like this. If we get in there, if you see a lot of like basically a nice grid pattern, that is how it's supposed to look like. So more than likely what was occurring on this truck, trying to see, I could not find anything wrong with the front side of this, okay, but on the back side it was crystallized, it was webbed. More than likely the truck, probably previous to my ownership, because it was running good when I bought it, but the truck probably previous to my ownership was not running good, and had a misfire for quite a while, and started to plug the cat. And I don't know if the previous owner just changed out the plugs or whatever they may have done. However, they had done something to get it decent enough, and then I know they just traded in the truck. So that's more than likely what had occurred in this instance. But with that being said, I can't be 100% sure on that. So yeah, on the plus side, vindicated. Now it's just trying to figure out what we're going to do, because that has both my oxygen sensors as well as the studs. We're starting to, unfortunately, they're starting to round, so I ended up just cutting them off right there, basically flush with that piece. So now I have to work up a solution for that. But on the plus side, we're in much better shape than I thought we were going to be. So I was really going to be pretty bummed out if I cut the cat like that and then got into a situation where that didn't solve anything. So yeah, we'll leave it at that. Thanks for joining us, and like, comment, subscribe. Yeah, we'll see you in the next one.